Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seats. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw.
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 Hi there, everybody. How are y'all doing today? How are you doing?
Doing good. Happy 4th.
Yes, happy 4th of July, everybody.
I heard them last night, heard some fireworks tonight. Tomorrow will be all out war.
Yeah.
Sound like Fallujah.
Yes.
Before
Cats are going to be going through the roof. That'll be all right, though. We'll keep them calm, or try to.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, we want to welcome y'all to our 4th of July special. And today we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to me and Dave both. I should say to Dave and I. Freedom. And, you know, the 4th of July is all about celebrating the birth of our country, the freedom of it, and everything. You know, let freedom ring. And that's what we're going to talk about on this special. And we'll hopefully it'll resonate with everybody.
Well, you know, Rob, I'll just say as a lead-in, freedom is it's being used in different ways now. It's become, and the word democracy as being politicized. We a lot of people in our country, especially in the elected world, do not even realize, or maybe they don't want to realize, that we're a constitutional republic. And so a lot of the attacks, or a lot of things that said is freedom is under attack, democracy is under attack. Well, yeah, it is, but you're the ones doing it. I mean, you know, I thought about this before. There's a wicked cycle that goes on with politicians, and I'm not talking about all the other stuff, but it happens on the local level and state level, and all the way up to national. To me, when someone gets elected, they to sort of get in the club, as you say, you can be elected, and they can just put you on the sidelines. You know, you don't got no committee assignments, and you have to pay your dues. And some people climb quicker than others, and they got some partners. And they get on some powerful committees like transportation. That's always a big one in any state you're in. I know in Georgia, it's a huge committee. But everybody, whether a senator or a representative, they want to pass a bill. That's the whole thing. Well, a bill is something that, gets pushed through and becomes a law. And we've just, after, July 1st here, a lot of these bills have, they've already been voted on and they become law. And so it's like this, how many more laws do we need? I mean, we have so many on the books now. Most people don't even know all the laws, even in their own state, much less across the United States, federal laws and whatever else. And the longer we go, the more restricted we get for the more laws that's created. Some laws do counter some stuff and help us, but it's like deregulation. Regulations can strangle business.
Yeah.
Laws can strangle freedom. And it sounds good to say those things. Well, democracy is under attack, or freedom is under attack, and your rights are under attack. But they've always been under attack by those who want to restrict the freedoms that we have, but they clothe it or cloak it into something that sounds patriotic, but it's not. So I just wanted to lead in with that freedom is under attack. It's always under attack. Now, our freedoms are under attack by our enemies, who would love to obviously conquer us and take America over. There are those people, that entities out there that would love to do that. America's had to defend its freedom throughout its history to even become a nation. But it's also under attack within its own borders. Freedom in many forms, freedom of expression, freedom of speech. There's some things you can't say, obviously, like fire in a movie theater. That's out of bounds. But there have been people that have been persecuted even recently for what I would say was their right to say it. Laws have been twisted and manipulated in a way to arrest these people and lock them up for a time, or to take them to a court and get them found, bankrupt them. Basically, there are news organizations right now that have been they're trying to destroy them. I won't name names right now. They're easy to find. So as we look at freedom, and we look at America, a lot of people, they don't really see it happening because they don't. I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people don't pay attention, and they might gripe and grumble, but they just don't realize some of those freedoms that are under attack. And everybody's got different ideas on what that means, and everybody has that right. But I think we can all say that it is under attack. We still live in the best nation on the face of the planet. I love the flag. There are those that don't love the flag, and we've seen those demonstrations and flag burnings, and those are tough things to look at. But I love the flag. Very patriotic. I love July 4th. Love to see the fireworks. Um, it it reminds me of the battles that we went through to preserve freedom, and the heroes that they were. They were not perfect, man. Now we want to go back into history and demonize all of those who the fathers of the country, so to speak, the early leaders of the country. And nobody ever said those men and women were perfect, because there are no perfect human beings, but they were very courageous. Sure, they got some things wrong because they're human. This experiment that became the United States of America, it was a lot of discussion about because we were under a king in England, and most people came from there. Some came from others elsewhere as time went on, for sure. But the early settlers and things that came to America, and they began to look at the different documents, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, all that. Was a great debate about that. And you go back and you look at that stuff, and they were talking about, it's even being brought up now about presidential powers and things like that. These were talked about all the way back in the founding fathers of the nation. They understood. They were pretty wise, Rob, to look out and see so many issues. They might not have known every single issue, but they knew what would be attacked for the cause of freedom. And they were very cautious to not allow, there were some things that they just knew that they had to have. There were compromises that were made, but is it perfect? No. I wouldn't think anybody would say our judicial system is perfect, but what we have is really good. And everybody wants to come here. They love it. Everybody wants to come to America and make money and live and have that freedom that we have. But yeah, we are talking freedom, and I'm proud to be an American tonight, and a citizen of these United States, and I love my country, and I appreciate. I mean, ain't it wonderful, Rob? I mean, you live down there. I mean, how long does it take you to get? I don't take me but about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so to drive up the road and cross into the state of Tennessee. It don't take you that long to get over to the state of Alabama or down into Florida. You're not stopped at the border and asked for your papers. A lot of countries don't have that freedom.
No, they don't. And, when you think about it, when the freedom to move and to travel, to move from region to region, and experience your country, your whole country. I mean, just look at the state of Georgia. It's one of the most diverse countries in the state and the United States, in my opinion. Georgia is very diverse. But when you leave out of Georgia, you get over into Alabama, you get over into Mississippi, Louisiana, keep going over into Texas, and everything changes. It's not the same. I've pretty well traveled, and every state has its own flavor, so to speak.
Sure.
And it's all part of the United States, and we all can go and explore and visit and check these places out, all these little towns, the bigger cities, whatever's your thing, the mountains, the oceans. We've got a treasure trove here in this country. and we get to experience it all. And we don't have to show no papers. We don't have to get permission from the government to go there. We don't. I mean, if we want to go on a trip, we go on a trip. You know, we don't have to explain to anybody why we're doing it. We don't have to tell them where we're going and how long we're going to be there. You know, it's none of their business.
That's right.
You
Well,
know,
if you said today, we're packing up and we're going to move to Wyoming, you can do that. You
yeah,
can, as long as you got the money and place to go. But you can do that, and people see that. There's that great scene in what was the movie? Was it Red Dawn? The Sean Connery movie, the nuclear sub. The officers were defecting and they were trying to do that. I think that was Red Dawn. Is that right? But anyway,
it
maybe I've
was.
got the movie name wrong. But anyway, if you know that movie, there's the guy, and unfortunately, he gets killed by the guy, the spy that was on the sub. But he's talking to Sean Connery, and he says, he wanted to move to Montana, I think it was, and
And
have a
raised beer.
farm. And he said there was that moment where he's still trying to figure out what this freedom means. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said, will they let me do that? He said, well, of course they'll let you do that. He said, no papers. And Sean Connery said, no papers. He said, then that's what I'll do. Yeah, ain't that amazing? I mean, and that really, I know it was a movie, but that really highlights many countries around the world, not all, but there are many where you don't have that freedom. You can't just do that. And
Mm,
he had lived under that communist regime, and even though he was in the military and all that, there were restrictions,
yeah,
and we just don't. We've got to hold on to that stuff. We've got to, make sure that that we never lose sight of what's important in this country and allow restrictions to be put in place like that, because that's not freedom, that's control. And some would say we've lost a lot, and we may have. There are hot button issues out there that I'm not going to go into, but I do see I try to stay active as a voter. I try to stay active, educating myself on the issues. I'm active in working in elections. I just done that for, I don't know, a couple of years now, and just want to be a good citizen and try to do my part in that process, and to defend that freedom, to make sure that we're doing the best we can. Sure, we got issues, but there's a lot of good people that are out there doing a lot of good things to defend freedom, to fly that flag of honor and be respectful to it. We see the bad images. There's bad actors, sure, but most people in this country are dedicated to the cause of freedom. They love America.
mm-hmm.
Apple pie and all that goes with it, and mama, and we talk about mama said, but the military. I just love the military vets. And of course we do our veteran of the week and all, but a friend of mine, he was telling me, he, at one time he worked for an entity, a federal entity. All right. Maybe not federal, but it has federal dollars and stuff. But anyway, without naming their name, he was over they have to change. It's a huge flag. I mean, it's like massive.
Right,
And they change that flag. If anything gets damaged on it, it comes down, another one goes up. But there's a order to that. He was telling me how many people would stop when they started doing that and get out of their car and salute the whole time, or put their hand over their heart the whole time that they were changing out the flag. And he said it's a very powerful moment. It's also a very nerve-wracking moment because everybody's watching you, and you want to make sure that you do you can't flub it. So you know what I mean?
right.
And it's like doing a military funeral. That flag draped coffin of that soldier, when they go to fold that thing, that all that has to go right. You just don't want that flubbed up. And there's proper ways to do that. It has to be followed, and it should. It
Yeah,
should. And I love that kind of thing. Me and you were talking about I've been to some, and the bagpipes from off in the distance playing Amazing Grace, and it's just special. We have that, and every country should have respect under their flag. And there may be problems there, but I think most people, and even if they don't have the freedom we have, they have what we would call patriotism for their country. But I don't think anywhere has. They don't have what we have, but there's a lot of respect around the world. I mean, that flag means something. That flag means something. Now, some hate it, but some they would just love to be living under it. Here in these United States. So, um, I know a lot of people don't like the fireworks, and I know it bothers the animals and all that. But you know what? We don't do it every day, and it is it's a nice thing. I love a good fireworks display, and I think about the beauty of it. But I think about those battleships, shooting defending fighting for our country against the British and others. And so, yeah, it just brings a warm spot in my heart. And I love this time of year. I know everybody doesn't get off. Some jobs just have to go on, but we appreciate those that are working in the medical field or law enforcement or military and many others. Some people just don't get a day off like that. But for those, but it is a nice time to get with family, and we can be celebratory of our country.
Right. And I'm going to throw out some other people there that don't normally get this day off, or they don't get much of it off. Having worked as a butcher for a long time, I'm going to tell you something. It's awfully convenient to be able to run down to that grocery store and get it whatever you want there on the 4th. But you remember, them people are giving up their 4th to help you. Don't be rude to them. Be nice.
Yeah, one of the men in my church, he makes deliveries to stores, and he don't get that day off. His food, the truck's got to roll, the food's got to move, supply chain going. But a lot of people like that, they'll find a way to celebrate after work or something, or the day before, even or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of people that can't do that. But if you got the ability to be there with family and travel or just be at home, that's a good thing. Get to sit back and have a day and spend some family time and enjoy freedom. What a blessing, freedom. As a Christian, when we're born again, we're set free from the penalty, the curse of sin, and I enjoy that freedom, and I enjoy the freedom that I have as a citizen of the United States. I've often thought, Rob, we didn't have any control where we were born at. That was decided by people, our parents, and and I often thought, how blessed I am to have been born here. As from day one, I was a citizen of the United States of America. I love this country, and I love all the different, from sea to shining sea, as they say, and like you mentioned, the mountains and flatlands, and the beaches and whatever you want. We have it here in America. It's beautiful, and we have a wonderful country, and we just got to fight to through the ways we can as a citizen to preserve it, and always challenge our leaders that freedom must remain. We have to defend ourselves at all costs, so to speak.
Yeah, and I'm going to speak on one other issue that I'm been having a lot here lately. Um, you can't say what's on your mind anymore.
Yeah.
You can't.
I know.
If you say what's on your mind and somebody disagrees with you, then instead of having it's going, well, why does he feel that way, or what did he see to do make him think that way? Oh no,
Yeah, there's something wrong with you.
We gotta, if we gotta do away with that, we gotta cancel that out. You know what? Everybody in this country has a right to their opinion. They can decide how they feel about something on their own. They don't need your help. Now, if I see somebody on whatever platform, on TV, whatever, and I don't like what they're saying, guess what? I have the freedom to change the channel.
That's it.
You know,
I exercise that all the time, whether it's radio or TV. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
The acceptable way to do. I mean, you don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to. And I don't. You and I don't agree a lot of times. Well, I don't say a lot of times, but most things we do agree. But if we happen to disagree, guess what? I don't start turning him off. He don't turn me off. We talk about it. We figure out a middle ground. It's called being an adult and finding something common to work toward. We're working towards something common that we both enjoy. Just right now, podcasting, and we really do enjoy this.
We do.
You know what? He's got the freedom to disagree with me. I've got the freedom to disagree with him, and we both have the freedom to work together on it. You know, it doesn't matter. So, like he was saying, with politics and such as that, you know, we don't talk a whole lot of politics on this show. Okay. No. But for someone to hate somebody because of their political ideology is one of the silliest things I have ever heard of. All you have to do is be a little bit respectful toward each other and quit hating on each other. My goodness. You know,
yeah.
My mama was a liberal. I'm not so much a liberal. Okay. I'm more of a conservative bent. But I never stopped loving her. She never stopped loving me. We had some discussions on it. Some stuff I didn't see eye to eye. Some stuff she didn't see eye to eye. Some stuff we did. There's a common ground to be found between any groups. And if we can find that common ground, these 4th of Julys will be a lot more enjoyable. I'll say that. And it's going to be enjoyable anyway because we're free. And I love this country too. And y'all, come on. Let's work together. We ain't got to be at each other's throats all the time. That ain't no fun. Come on. Let's work together on it.
You know, another thing we mentioned off camera, I think even a day or two ago, is if you're going to fly the American flag, you need to educate yourself on the proper ways to fly the flag. I love the patriotism of some good old boys that love to get their flags out. But Robert, they desecrate. They don't realize, but they desecrate the flag. There are set rules that you must follow if you're going to fly that flag. And educate yourself. Go find out what those rules are. We're not going to go through the list, but there are rules about that, and you can go there, and they update that every day depending on what's going on. There may be half staff. There's things that you have to know about flying the flag, and I guess what really bothers me is seeing people that just have one that's up there that's shredded to the wind, you know, and they don't replace it, and that's sad. You know, they feel, I don't know, they feel a connection to it. I guess they want it to see totally gone until or maybe they don't even pay attention to it no more. But there's one not too far from where I live, and it's just it's a citizen. It's not a business, but it's embarrassing. I mean, you know, educate yourself about that. We want to see the flags. By the way, Robert, and you remember this, I know because you lived in the area so long. And we'll give a shout out to the city of Ringgold and the flags that they put up, you know, in Ringgold for the vets and stuff. You cannot drive through that city without feeling patriotism.
Yes.
It's amazing. And it takes a big team of volunteers to get those flags up and get them down every year. But that's cool. I love that. And those that are listening that we know that live there or have lived there, my sister being one of them, she's talked about it a bunch, and you know, and we just love that. That's cool. And there's a lot of cities have special things like that, but I think Ringo they really top everybody in this area for something like that. That's just wonderful. You talk about enjoying driving to small town America. I mean, it'll put a warm feeling in your heart. I mean, you'll feel a little lump in your throat sometimes when you think about it. You go through and read all those names of those vets and all those flags. You can't help but have patriotism when you see that. That's so cool.
It is very cool. And, I think it's important that they're remembered, especially on days like the 4th of July, but not just on those days, but every day. But, we have our Veterans Day, we have Memorial Day, we have the 4th of July, we have a lot of patriotic holidays, but that sacrifice wasn't made just for those days. They were
No.
made every day, you know. But I digress on we need to enjoy our 4th of July. Guys, y'all enjoy your hot dogs, enjoy the fireworks, enjoy the watermelon, enjoy you some boiled peanuts, by golly. But y'all remember this is our country's birthday. This is important. And it's about freedom. And let's not ever forget that.
I love when sometimes organizations will sit up in front of some stores and maybe they're, selling a product to raise funds for something vet related or something. But a lot of times they will have little small stick flags for the kids.
Mhm.
And it's so cool to see the kids holding that little flag and waving it, and that may have been the first time in their life they've ever had a flag handed to them. And you just hope that really sticks, and they really, because honestly, I don't know how much they teach about this anymore in school. The civics it's not where it should be. I think everybody can agree to that. Some probably do better than others, but to have how, really teach that, to have that love of country and love of flag. And I just I like to see that. I think that is really, really cool. Now, I will say there are some things that are worn with the flag on that I'm not going to mention which things, but I don't really want to go there. But you can take that too far. But let's have reverence and respect for the flag. And you never know. This 4th of July might be the last one you see somebody, like anything is when you get together. So
Yeah.
I say it on every holiday. Tell them you love them and hug their neck. We shake hands and hug necks here on the Southern Fried Podcast, and make sure you get those important thoughts in. Let people know how you feel. Reach out to a vet and say thank you for your service. Let them know that they may be in your own family. You can probably do that. I think most people listen probably do those things. But I'll just say, Rob, we're looking forward to an interview that we're going to do Friday night, and with some guests, and they were talking about some patriotic things they're going to be involved with. They'll be coming on and talking about some of that, and they were saying those same things that I'm saying about how you feel, that how it makes you feel good, and it's it can bring a tear to the eye, just seeing vets and parades, and
Yes.
some of them being they mentioned Gold Star dads, and there's a lot to it, a lot to that. So yeah, reach out to those vets and let them know. We're losing all the. I mean, they're World War II vets have really, a lot of them have died, and the Vietnam vets are bless their hearts, they're getting older now too. And so reach out to those folks. Get their stories too if you can. We've talked about that. Get their stories if you can, if they'll let you, and document that stuff to pass it down and tell their story as whatever they want to share. I think as they get older, they kind of want to at least release some of that. But yeah, family time, hot dogs. Robert, would you ever enter a hot dog eating contest?
No.
I do
I
not
don't
watch
do like hot
those.
dogs.
I
I do like hot
I
dogs. I
know
don't like
people.
that fast.
Yeah, I know people watch that stuff. I'm not into that. The
No.
hot dog eating contest. I'm not really into that. It makes me hurt. It makes my stomach hurt to even think about.
Well, they say
Eating.
what goes up must go down. There's a reverse to that. What goes down too fast must come up. Not
That's
doing it.
it's really disgusting to watch, if you ask my opinion. And nobody has, but I'm Southern. I'm gonna give my
It's like
opinion.
watching a train wreck.
It's disgusting. Soaking, get soaking it in water and all that. Oh,
No.
that's just disgusting for me. But there's a satisfaction. You grill masters out there. You're grilling. You grill for your family, and they appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll brag on you, and there's a satisfaction at the end when you're done all your grilling, and everybody's ate, and they're all sleepy and laid back. And there's a great satisfaction with that. You've had a great meal. You've lived in a free country. Hopefully, you got a day off from work, spending time with family. And say a prayer for the soldiers that are stationed overseas, away from family. Protecting that freedom we have here in these United States. What a blessing it is. I love America. I'm very patriotic.
Well, I'll tell you someone else who was feeling patriotic and now is just feeling upset. Uncle Jeb done got in a fuss with his neighbors.
Say it ain't so. What's going on with Uncle Jeb?
They got an argument about fireworks.
Oh, no.
He just got done doing his time up there.
He done the 48, for contempt of court, yeah. Yeah, I hadn't heard from him since then, so,
But they was arguing about fireworks up there. Now he's threatening to blow the house up. He said that'd be the biggest bottle rocket when that trailer launched up and got up so high and blew up, that'd be the biggest thing anybody'd seen around here in a while.
Uncle Jeb, come on, man.
He's a crotchety old critter. I love him, though. But his girlfriend came back down with him and caught him arguing with the neighbors, too. She went out there to straighten him out on that. Uncle Jeb come back with two black eyes. I guess she got her point across.
It reminds me, and kids don't do this at home. If any kids listening, but we were talking the other day about bottle rocket wars and stuff. I can see it now. There's going to be a firework war between Uncle Jeb and his neighbors and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of shooting them up now, he's just going to shoot them at.
Yeah, well, they're going to shoot
the cops. The cops going to get called back out. And he'll end up going back to jail.
We'll see what happens. I just wonder who's got the biggest mortar round. Those mortar tubes. It's one thing doing it with bottle rockets, but the mortar tubes that you set up and you light and you shoot up in there. Oh, I can see that happening. I'm gonna be able to look across the peanut field over here and see, be like the cannon fire hit Old Glory.
Have you ever shot a firework that you didn't know what it was going to do, and it didn't go good? It didn't work out.
Yeah, once or twice. Remember those screamers they used to have? You never really knew which way they were going to go, especially if it was someone like me that lit it and just spun it, and everybody run.
Well, sometimes you light one, and the first blast of like a multi-blast block or something, it will flip. It'll flip over, like it'll do the wrong thing, and now you've got projectiles coming not going up in the air, but coming at people. We had that happen. I wasn't doing them. We was some other people were, but they were we were running for cover. I'll just say that we were running for cover.
You couldn't do it. I was too busy laughing. We were idiots, dude. We used to take bottle rockets and break the sticks off, light it, and throw it, and just see where it'd go.
They say every 4th of July there's injuries. ERs see a lot of injuries, burns, sometimes fingers blown off. Some people get out there doing wrong things, and
you kids don't do nothing we say.
No, don't. That was
some of us weren't very smart. We ate a lot of chocolates out of a box, and sometimes we went running, but we weren't very smart people. Fortunately, we lived long enough to get some common sense.
Well, mostly,
Well,
maybe not Uncle Jeb.
No. Y'all, I can't really describe this man. Y'all know them 70-year-old men that's still just as strong as they were when they were 30? That's Uncle Jeb.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
Uncle Jeb right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
We can't have him on here.
No, you just never know what he's going to say.
Oh, and he's not going to hold back nothing a bit. Dude.
It's like you don't even have to ask him. He throws his hat in the ring, goes ahead and says it. I mean,
Yeah. That freedom of speech thing, he's all about that.
Yeah,
But yeah, if I get tired of
he's
listening, I can always hit end.
yeah. Yeah, he gets fiery.
Because you don't want to hit end too quick. You want to make sure you understand what's going on, because then you can sit back and laugh. And that's free too.
Well, we'll get a check in on him and find out what happened with this situation.
Mm.
Uh, we're gonna have to go see him, Rob. We're gonna have to have
You have
have
to.
some sort of coming together about this and see if we can't get him calmed down.
Do we have to go see him?
Well, no, we
I mean,
don't
I
have
can look.
to,
I
but
can see. I can see where he lives from here at the house, and
it's getting
uh,
out of control.
well, I don't figure it's out of control till his neighbor's trailer gets airborne. Mm.
I hope we don't have any of that. Very, fireworks is one thing, and a little bit of gunpowder, but I hope you don't have any of that really powerful stuff.
No, no,
They
no,
shoot
no.
they shoot refrigerators across the field and stuff. That would be a bad that would be a bad idea for him to have a hold
You
of any of that.
remember years ago in Mad Magazine? I don't know if they still have it or not. I know they still have Mad Magazine, but do you remember Spy versus Spy?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh! And they were all these. They had these two spies, and they were always doing something to one another. And that's that kind of situation over there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not.
that's the way it happens in disputes, and um, he don't really need neighbors that are closer than 5 miles away, maybe
You
10.
ain't joking about that. Oh no, yes he does. Yes he does too. He needs somebody closer to him than me. I don't want to be the closest.
Well, who's going to take care of him when he gets decrepit and he can't take care of himself? I mean, he'd
His
probably be
girlfriend.
120,
His
but
girlfriend.
I figured he might move in with you.
You. Mm-mm.
Of course, your cats might come up missing. I mean, he might get mad or something. I don't know, but
I tell you what,
probably wouldn't be a good idea, Rob.
I believe I got a cat here that can whoop his butt. I'll introduce y'all to him one day. All right. Well, you guys enjoy your 4th of July. Have a great day. Enjoy it. Remember what it's all about. And spend some time with your family and be thankful for all that we have.
Amen. Love you all. Happy 4th. Happy freedom. Happy birthday. All those things we say. It's good to be an American. Listen to Lee Greenwood. That's a good song to play. I'm proud to be an American. Just love this land. Don't eat too much. Of course you will. Help the grill master clean up. They'd appreciate that. But have a good time. Enjoy the kids. Let the kids have fun. Sparklers and all that good stuff. Just be careful. Don't end up in the ER.
No.
With burns and amputations and eyes out and all that stuff. Be careful with them.
Mama said, you'll shoot your eye out. Be careful.
Yeah. Mama said it's been really dry in a lot of areas, so be very careful. So,
yeah. All right, you guys. Have a great and wonderful 4th of July.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.